Hi, I'm Alderwoman Sheila Finlayson. Welcome to Annapolis. Today I'm very pleased to have with me as guest the leadership of the Kunte Kinte celebration. Mr. Michael Stump, who is the volunteer committee chairperson.
Good.
Did I get that right?
That's good.
And Miss Enid Collison-Lee, who is the community education vendor chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
We are about to celebrate on the 29th the arrival commemoration and the festival. So it's right around the corner. So first of all, welcome.
Thank you
for having us.
It's been many years since the inception of the Kunte Kinte Heritage Festival. Goes back to the 80s.
87.
And as I was saying earlier, off camera, I remember the day when we had 10 different activities going on over probably the course of several weeks in preparation and building up to the arrival commemoration. But this year, we're doing the festival and the commemoration on the 29th of September.
Right.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about the festival?
Okay, well, the original Kunte Kinte Foundation celebration was held, you said, back in the 80s, 1987, to be specific, here in Annapolis, which is the site of the disembarkation of Kunte Kinte here in America. Now in its 29th iteration, the festival has grown to attract thousands of people from all walks of life coming together for education, entertainment, and multicultural expressions, celebrating the perseverance, education, and cultural heritage of African Americans and the Caribbean people of African descent. Kunte Kinte was one of 98 slaves brought to Annapolis, Maryland, aboard the ship Lord Ligonier in 1767, and despite many years of bondage, he never lost his connection to his African heritage. Kunte Kinte's experience symbolizes the struggle of all ethnic groups to persevere their cultural heritage. And our presentation of the 29th annual Kunte Kinte Festival on Saturday, September 29th, on the city docks of Annapolis, is our small way of keeping alive the distinguished lineage of the oral history of roots, the saga of an American family given to us by Alex Haley. And in closing on that little part, I again would like to acknowledge our host, Alderwoman Sheila Finlayson, who, as I got involved in the activity and in my education, I learned that she was really instrumental back in the day of keeping this alive, starting it and keeping it going and providing energy. And we are proud to take the baton from you and do our lab.
Well, and I'm pleased that you're here to take the baton, truly. But it has been, for me, a labor of love. I remember back in the day when Alex Haley came to our events, and what an honor to meet the man who wrote Roots, who kind of put on all of our radars the importance of tracing one's heritage. And, you know, I was just recently talking about the monuments at our city dock. You know, it's a center of attention for tourists who come into town. They all have to stop at Alex's statue, his bronze statue sitting on the dock with the children in front of him. And then the story wall that helps to perpetuate the story about Kunte Kinte's arrival in Annapolis in 1767. And the Compass Rose across the street, which traces the passage of Kunte Kinte to Annapolis. We're probably one of only not even a handful of cities who sponsor these types of activities to help keep the story alive. I know Ancestry.com has gotten its fame because people began to find the value in tracing one's family history. And I know there's a lot of other companies that do the same thing, but I believe it really started here in the 80s, helping people to recognize the importance of tracing one's family lineage, even if it's an unpleasant ending to the history or beginning of the history. That history is still important, and it's important to pass it on. So I thank you for picking up that baton and carrying it on and celebrating in Annapolis. Annapolis is a co-sponsor of the festival because we as a city recognize the value. So I know that this kind of event takes more than just two people. So tell us something about what's going to go on the 29th. I know it begins with the arrival commemoration ceremony, which acknowledges the arrival of Kunte Kinte on City Dock, almost at the exact spot that we honor with the statue. So that part is really important, and we celebrate it. But this year, it's the same day as the festival, and ironically, on the 29th of September, celebrating 29 years. So after the arrival commemoration ceremony at 10 a.m., then what happens from there?
We're going to have the Annapolis Drum and Bugle Corps lead that procession into that point where we have the Compass Rose celebration. The rest of the day is filled with music, dance, entertainment. We have educational displays all over the festival. We have arts and crafts vendors. We have community and education vendors. And last year we started with two different stages. The main stage will hold and present our most larger entertainers. And we have a community stage. Now, our entertainers, we have to talk about them. We have young Dylan. I don't know if you all have heard of him, but he has been on the Ellen Show. He's a young rapper from Annapolis. Are you familiar with him?
I am.
So he's going to be on the stage. We have Sherish Jones, who did the Booed Up remix with the Jamaican beat. She's going to be here. Got My Own Sound Group. Craig Dobson, who is a local singer, is going to be has his group. And Clones of Funk. We can't close up the show without the Clones of Funk, another funkadelic Annapolis group that everybody is aware of and knows of. On the community stage, we're going to have a West African dance company. We're also going to have this year local gospel groups, the Expressions Youth Dance Group, who everybody knows usually has a program at the Maryland Hall, as well as the Energetic for Lifeline dancers. So we have something for everyone as far as entertainment is concerned.
So throughout the course of the day, and the festival begins at 10 and
runs until 7.
Until 7. There will be a schedule so that folks can go and see where the entertainment is located and when, and so they can be at the right stage at the right time.
Exactly. And as I said before, we also have on the community stage a hair wrap demo. We have martial arts karate demonstration. We have story time by the Anne Arundel County Public Library. We have soul food cooking demos. We have a Polynesian dance ensemble, as well as a children's area where we will have live animals for petting and where they can make African musical instruments.
So I heard you say there's lots of entertainment on two different stages.
Right.
One, the big stage for the major artists,
Right.
and the smaller community stage for more local types things.
Right.
I want the food. I don't want to learn how to cook it. I just want to learn how to eat it. But I'm good with that. So, but you also mentioned there's a kids tent, so there's something
Yes.
for everyone.
Yes.
So if folks bring their kids, you said they'll be making African drums,
African masks,
Africans.
I don't know the African
Rain
names.
sticks?
Yes,
They're making the rain sticks?
Right. And the whole point in having the petting zoo is that Kunte Kinte, when he was young, was actually a goat herder. So we made sure that we have goats there so that it kind of brings home that whole thing about his early life for the children.
So kind of like a petting
Yes.
zoo for the kids who,
Yes.
and inner city kids don't generally come in contact with goats and other such animals. So this is really an awareness thing for them also. So we have entertainment on 2 stages. We have a kids tent where they can make all kinds of things and experience animals. And then there are vendors. What kinds of vendors will you have?
Okay, so we have 3 types of vendors. We have the community and education vendors, which I am the chairperson of. And our vendors would include people like the Anne Arundel County Health Department, the WIC program, the HIV awareness. We're offering blood pressure screening. It also includes the Annapolis Police Department. The NAACP will also have a booth where they will provide voter registration. We have authors of books. We have self-help vendors and various sororities and fraternities. We also have some job opportunities. The Department of Corrections from Delaware is also going to be there. They're interested in having people learn about their system and offering them job opportunities. So that's the community and education type of resource vendors. We also have arts and crafts vendors. And we have vintage clothing, we have African clothing, we have handbags, we have jewelry, we have masks, we have canes, all sorts of things. I think you'll be very happy. I think there's something there for everyone. We have candles, vendors who sell a variety of shea butters, creams, body oils. We have artists, a variety of artists who will be there. There'll be t-shirts, there'll be other books for enjoyment as well as self-help books. So a great variety, and they are the majority of our vendors. And of course, we can't forget our food vendors. We're gonna have some ribs and crab cakes and snowballs, Caribbean food, bean pies, chicken, kettle corn, and etc. So get your eat on while you're there, Sheila.
And I definitely will. You've named so many different types of vendors, and this is all going to take place at our city dock?
It certainly is.
So you've taken most of city dock, so there's no parking down there because you have all these vendors that will be set up. So where do people go? Is there a shuttle? Is there other opportunities? Or should I be plugging our city garages?
Okay. I think you need to plug the city garages, but we have tried to make that easier for the people who want to participate. Now, because our vendors come early from 6:30 in the morning on to set up, we have some spaces available for them to accommodate them. However, there is free parking at the Calvert Street Garage, which is located at 19 St. John Street, which is right across from where St. John's is. From there, we have arranged for a free shuttle that comes directly to the Kunte Kinte Festival. Also, we have made an arrangement with the city of Annapolis to have the circulator at that parking garage as a stop. They will then bring the participants to the Market Street, which is just a stone's throw from the Kunte Kinte Festival. Also, we have contacted Lyft, and if they give the code KKHF 2018, they will get $5 and a discount if they use Lyft to get to the festival.
So it sounds like you've covered the transportation. The Baden Street garage is free to park. That's the one right across from St. John's.
It's called the Calvert Street, actually.
Calvert Street.
I know.
Okay. So if they park in that garage, and when they come in from out of town, they come into Rao Boulevard,
Right.
take a left there, and that's the garage they can park in for free.
Yes.
And then there will be shuttles or the circulator
Right.
that will transport them into downtown.
Right.
Okay, and then you've arranged with Lyft to give a $5 off discount if they give, and we'll post the code information at the end of the show.
Oh, great.
So that people can get that information and use it. So you've covered the transportation. It sounds like it's going to be a huge festival this year.
It's our biggest. We actually had to turn away vendors. And that is something we need to consider for the future, is growth. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe we'll get to that 3-day event another time, with more help. Which brings me to how this event occurs. This would not be possible without our sponsors. And I would be remiss if I did not mention them. So we have the Arts Council, who is a sponsor, Live Casino and Hotel, Coombs Ford, the Annapolis Times, the Community Foundation of Anne Arundel County, Lemoore Lifestyle Public Relations, and the Anne Arundel Community College, William Reese, Chesapeake Children's Museum, and the City of Annapolis are partners of ours. We also have Peace and Love Darius Stanton, Sam's Club, Home Depot, and the Hoppy Adams Foundation, which support us.
Well, we should thank all of those
yes.
organizations and businesses who are sponsors in this phenomenal event. It sounds huge. There's something for everyone, from kids to seniors, whether it's about shopping or about eating or about playing or enjoying great music or other types of entertainment. It sounds like it's all there for you. I know that you have a committee working with you, and I assume that they each have a responsibility. So do you want to briefly mention those people who are helping you put this together? And I have to give your daughter kudos, because she's the chairman of this. Jan Lee is the chairman of this whole event. She wasn't able to be with us today, but you tell her that you did a good job stepping in for her. But who else is helping out with this event?
Well, I want to tell an interesting story. Jan was young when the praise dancers from First Baptist Church would always participate and perform at the festival. Of course, when she went away to college and then to New York, she came back and she found there's no festival. Mom, how could that happen? And in her little brain, she said, this can't happen. And we started off 3 years ago again, starting off small with a group of volunteers, and now we've gotten to this point. So yes, I am very proud of her. We also have Daniel Young, who is our arts and crafts vendor chair, Carolyn Young, who handles all that delicious food, Debbie Wood, who handles the children's tent and activities, Dee Davis, who is our volunteer communicator, and Keith Rao, who helps Jan with the entertainment. So we are very, very thankful for these people who have given up their time and effort to make this a success. We know it's going to be a success. But talking about making it work, volunteers.
Yeah. Okay, to support the fantastic program that Enid has laid out before us here, probably other than the 10 months or so that the planning committee devotes to the organizing and planning of this activity, probably the next single most important element of the success is our fantastic cadre of volunteers that we have attracted to work with us on the actual day of the festival. And they come from across the community. We get them from churches, sororities, fraternities. We got midshipmen from the U.S. Naval Academy this year, scouting groups, other community-minded youth groups, and the folks next door, neighbors, that sort of thing, to elicit them. And we have a number of opportunities that ranging from setup, starting at that 7 o'clock hour, to the cleanup starting at 7 in the evening to restore the dock to its pristine qualities. And in between, we have about 6 or 7 different other volunteer positions that encapsulate you're working with as welcomers, directing people to where to go, helping the vendors logistically set up and get their acts going and stuff. Of course, we talked about the children's tent. They have nonstop activities all day, and we have volunteers helping out in that regard there. And also, like in selling our beverages and vending, selling our
Merchandise.
merchandise and beverages. And in return for all of this volunteer assistance, we have a variety of amenities for our force. We have food gift cards from our donors, free beverages and sandwiches throughout the day, T-shirts depending upon the length of support, length of time they serve. And the most important opportunity for them is to have fun with us all day. Just have fun too. So please, I'd like even anyone who, in looking at the roster, we still have some vacancies. And if anyone is interested in signing up and catching the train with us, go to kuntekinte.org, go to volunteer, and pick yourself a slot. We're waiting on your name. And I've noticed in my short time with the group, we have people that have volunteered from year to year. So that means that there's they get some advantages. And
They enjoy it.
yeah, they enjoy it.
They enjoy it.
I'll go back to an old ad thing. Try us, you'll like us.
Well, and clearly I'm a perfect example of that, for all of these many years. Last year I volunteered as a greeter, and then I had a funeral to attend. So I'm not going to sign up for anything this year because I'm afraid I won't be. But I will be there. I will be there.
Very
You
good.
can use me however
We'll
you
leave
need
the light
me
on.
after I get there.
Absolutely.
So if there's folks out who are watching and would like to volunteer, they go to kuntekinte.com
.org.
.org
And go to volunteer.
and go to volunteer and sign up for a time slot.
Exactly.
Early in the morning to late in the evening, there's a space for you, and you might even get fed. I'm just saying. And you have your own merchandise that you'll be selling. I see both of you have Kunte Kinte t-shirts.
This is the shirt from 2 years ago.
27th annual.
Featuring our featured artist for that year. Do you know who it is, Sheila?
Absolutely, I do. Tony Spencer.
Absolutely.
I know that
Tony
piece of
Spencer.
artwork well.
That's right. And this is one of his works of art, which we put on a t-shirt. He had a booth, and he also, the artist has their work there, which I want to talk about, our featured artist for today. And this is the shirt from last year. The artist actually was from New York. So I want to talk about our featured artist.
Sure.
I'm so excited. I suggested her. Her name is Bella Ray. You can usually see her work on First Sunday in Annapolis. And then there was an article featured, and I said, I think she would be wonderful. Her artwork that she's featuring is called Didn't See That Coming. It'll be on display. She is a visual artist whose name is Shavella Bell, currently studying at the Art Institute of Chicago. And she now has her work on display at Paul's Homewood Cafe on West Street from now until October the 2nd, with her sister Cynthia, who is also an artist. So she will have posters as well as a large display of her art. Didn't see that coming. And we are excited to have her and to help her, because not only do we want to have the community come and be a part of us, we want to be a part and help promote.
So you have 3 young entrepreneurs. So tell us a little bit about them.
Okay, we have Dinka Styles, and she's a young lady who makes her own keychains, handcrafted hair beads. She has notebooks and greeting cards. We also have Kid Time Enterprises, whose name is Tyler. And Tyler has written his own book. And he also is going to have T-shirts. And then we have Airy Jewelry, who will be having her jewelry there on display and for sale. So the purpose is to bring young people in and help them along the way, help them to reach their dream.
So what's the age bracket for the young entrepreneurs?
I think it's from 6 to 17.
I think that's
6 to
So
17.
they're truly young entrepreneurs.
Oh, yes.
And
I don't know.
6-year-olds
Yes.
to
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. Well, you filled us with so much information today. The festival, again, is on the 29th, beginning with the arrival commemoration at 10 a.m. And following that, the Annapolis Drum and Bugle Corps will lead a procession down to the actual festival. And at the festival, there will be entertainment on 2 stages. There will be a kids' tent. There will be vendors selling all types of merchandise, from clothing to jewelry to soaps to any number of things. There will be entrepreneurs, like the young entrepreneurs. And I heard you mention authors that will be there.
And let's not forget, we'll have Frederick Douglass there. This is a part of the Frederick Douglass Bicentennial Celebration in Maryland. And he will be portrayed by Nathan Richardson.
I was going to say, he's going to rise from the... We will have an actor portraying Frederick Douglass, because this is the celebration, the annual celebration of Frederick Douglass. So there is just such, and I didn't mean to leave out the food vendors. There is such a wealth of stuff going on at the festival this year. So volunteer opportunities are still available at kuntekinte.org. Go to volunteers. It's a full day, it sounds like. So you'll be posting the schedule for the entertainment. But we want to encourage everyone to come out near and far. It's a wonderful day of opportunity to reconnect to heritage, it sounds like. And there'll be a new shirt unveiled.
That's right.
This year. So we're all very much looking forward to it. I want to thank you. We're going to be scrolling the contact information on this site after the interview is over. But I want to say thank you for coming out and sharing all of this information with us and sharing it with the community so that they will come out and participate.
And we want to thank you for having us. Really
Giving us
appreciate
an
that.
opportunity to...
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Till next time.